Hello there, commanders, and welcome back to War Games Institute Tournament number 2. We are in quarterfinal number 4, battle number 2, fought on Salernum. There we go. It is a battle between the Bili team, or just Bili, and White Wolves, the Spanish-Polish super team. So let's see. We are watching this battle again from the perspective of White Wolves. Let's switch on the Fog of War and see what both teams are up to. And this time, White Wolves have opted for archers instead of javelins. And they brought again 3 elephants, still no cavalry. The Chinese team has adapted the draft a little bit as well. They bring 0 ranges this time, and they bring elephants. They also brought 1 unit of cavalry again. I think they did that. I think they did the same in the previous battle. So I like the Bili team draft more, but given how the last battle played out, well, we'll see. We see that the battle is 26 minutes long, so that means it's a much more equal battle than the previous one that took only 18 minutes. So we'll see. Both teams committing to C. The Chinese team committing a little bit more, although some reinforcements may come from White Wolves from the city. The infantry is going to be stopped. 2 units of infantry versus 2 units of infantry, they can just stop each other. But an elephant is going to go through. You cannot stop an elephant, as simple as that, unless you have your own elephant. We have been over this. So yeah. Contest for C is going to be quite hard, and 3 elephants from the Chinese team are walking on top of the hill, but they're not really pushing forward to E. They're repositioning. They have the watchtower, so they see what's incoming. They're going to suffer a rear volley into the Roman infantry on Sula, so no Testudo available, and they are pulling back. They just want to defend B. So again, just leave 1 elephant to defend, maybe 2, so they can rotate them through the healing zone, and send 1 to C to counter the elephant of the White Wolves team. As 2 more elephants are just walking on top of A, that is going to be given completely for free, pretty much. I do have glaives, but once those pikemen arrive, they're just going to go into pike phalanx, push those glaives out, just completely kill them, and that will be very easy to be done. They do have dogs. Dogs are the best counter to, well, other than javelins, I guess, but javelins are not present, so they are the best counter to pikes they have on this team. They are even going to be stopped ahead of the point by melee infantry. Glaives, as I predicted, they got wrecked, and A is going to very quickly go to the Polish team. So the Chinese team has, sorry, Polish team, they're not Polish team, they're half Polish, half Spanish. But anyway, the Chinese team has given up A pretty much for free. They still have units in the area, and they're also defending B. So even if they get C, which looks like they will, okay, that's just visual bug because it is technically contested by something. Don't really see what could possibly contest. Maybe this unit was slightly inside, but there we go. It is going to be captured by them. But they also have decided to defend B. So they say to defend B, give up A for C. They must really, really value C, and let's see what they can do from C. They can use this C healing zone to go back and attack into the city, but this healing zone is not as well positioned as this healing zone that is provided by A itself, and they obviously cannot attack D because it's locked, because A is being, has been captured. So they can, if they want to attack into the city, they can only attack A, which, well, is positioned quite closely to the healing zone, or they can attack E using the huge force they have over here. Instead, they're going to stay here and defend, heal up some of the units that they have lost. They mostly lost them over here. The units that were fighting on C were all pretty healthy. So they're launching an attack onto E. That's good. That's the correct choice, I think. But is that attack powerful enough? You're sending 3 units versus 1 cavalry unit that you have already charged with. B is not looking very good, but they have the elephants here. So at least this time, they're utilizing their elephants correctly and efficiently. So that's what I like to see. The archers are now nicely being used to deny the healing. They do have range, they do have vision, But despite that, one of the units did manage to heal up, the other two have been denied. So they need to use those elephants, put pressure on the archers, stop them from shooting, so that you can heal, because that unit of spears is still providing vision. So archers still shoot, but now the archers got scared of those folksmen for some reason, and which means they stopped shooting at the healing zone that they have still in range. So yeah, that's quite a big misplay out of the White Wolves team and the Polish archer in there. So yeah, B is going to be defended, and now White Wolves have actually realized it pretty quickly. As I said that, B is going to be defended as long as soon as those units have healed up. It was essentially over, so now they need to retreat towards E. Luckily they had a player, he either died or must have come back to heal up here, but yeah, the sneaky attack, not really sneaky, just straightforward attack from C, only 3 units being sent, definitely wasn't enough to take E, so that didn't happen. So I think, again, a mistake here by the Chinese team. They should have just sent much more units from C to E, try to capture it that way, and try to change the state of the battle, because otherwise they are at a huge disadvantage. Sending dogs back all the way back to the base. Why? They're all full health. Why would you ever do that? You want to go to A? I mean, I guess, but it will be very difficult to capture A with just dogs. They have pikes in there, then again, they don't really know what's in there, and if they're expecting pikes, because that's a natural thing to expect, the dogs are one of the best responses you can have. So there's that. I mean, that's the best response they have, actually, because they don't have any ranged units. And even then, ranged units will need support of more melee units. So yeah, dogs are simply the best thing you can send. They're sending cavalry. So now they're committing to capturing A, as they see that quite a huge attack is being launched on C. The attack on B has failed, so White Wolves are still going back and healing. So they need to find advantage somewhere, right? So what they're doing is they're trying to outpace the enemy. They're using the fact that they need to go all the way back to E to heal, and trying to capitalize on that time frame where they're going back to heal. They're not on the front lines, so they have advantage on the front lines at the very moment until at least those units come back to the fronts and try to capture A in that time frame. They've caught out the dogs in the middle of the transition between C and A, but they're not really going to stop them. Their unit of infantry is not that healthy, and there are 2 more units of infantry coming into A for the White Wolves team. And there's only 1 unit of dogs coming in, as the other 2 units have been sent towards C. The healing zone is sort of being denied, but not entirely. I mean, there's contributing 1 unit plus dog to hold on to those pikes, and the units can just heal over here. Plus those spikes are now going to get routed. So that's a failed attempt by the White Wolves team to capture C. They have units on top of their contesting, so there's less point gain per second for the Chinese. But that's still definitely not enough. As long as you don't deny that healing zone, getting C is going to be extremely difficult. And that's actually quite interesting, because Salernum has been in every single battle so far, and well, I know, and maybe you know if you watch the previous battles, is that, well, previous or future battles, depending on how you see that, right? Previously published. Salernum is pretty much in every single battle. As the same can be said about National Cup. Obviously Salernum wasn't there in every single match, but it was still one of the most popular maps. So a lot of teams feel confident on this map. It's a classic, it's the oldest map in the game, alongside Salernum and Marathon. Thermopylae and Marathon. And a lot of teams just have Salernum as their favorite out of all of those maps. And maybe Thermopylae is banned. I don't remember. Maybe Thermopylae is banned, or maybe it was reserved as a tiebreaker map. One of the 2, I think. Maybe we'll see in the future if you'll get a tiebreaker at some of the other matches in the future. But for now, the Chinese team is sending more and more forces to A. They have almost killed the pikes in there, and now they're in melee engagement being chased by dogs. And if the dogs got aggro on them, they're not going to let go. One of the dogs have been recalled. They cannot be launched against the pikes because they will just catch aggro onto the swords. Swords, as they're trying to pursue the dogs, they have exposed the rear flank, and that actually is going to get them routed. There are Sapphire Combs and and Green Dragon Strike, which means they're routed, and A is actually going to be taken by the Chinese team. Really nicely played, and I in the healing zone over here, while still holding on to C. But well, they did that at the cost of just completely letting go of B. So they still will be in control of 2 points versus 3. So what they need to do is rush D, while the forces that were in the city are still on the back foot, and that's exactly what they're doing. So much better play in this battle than the previous one. So it's good to see that the team essentially improved, right? So okay, what have we done wrong? Well, we have done pretty much essentially everything wrong in the previous battle. So they have identified that, and they're playing much better in this one. The elephant though can be stopped. It will walk on top of the point, and now we just need to kill it. So that elephant is going to buy quite a lot of time. Healing zone is denied pretty well, but the healing part, that's only the healing part that is being denied, not the respawning part. And as the 3 sword units are respawning on there, well, they immediately kill the cavalry, and that gets routed. It gets saved by God of War, really nicely played there. And the glaives are going to hold them for a little bit, but obviously they cannot hold on forever against them. And those swords are also going to enable the other sword player to heal up there, bring another 3 units back, and now White Wolves have a lot of forces coming into D. And can the elephant buy enough time and space for them? They're blocking one of the entrances. They need to block the other one as well. They're doing that with the dogs. Cavalry is also coming around the corner. And the elephant is going down. Glaives are a good counter. Is there a Germanicus maybe? Yep, that's Germanicus in Vengeance plus God of War. So that elephant went down pretty quickly, and as long as they can prevent that infantry from coming back, there's also another elephant incoming. They need to stop that elephant. They need to charge. Charge disrupts the elephant. Nobody charged in there, even though that's Germanicus has charge available. Those are barbarians have charge available. So again, misplay. The only thing that can stop an elephant, well, not stop, disrupt an elephant, is a charge. It knocks the elephant back for a little bit. And again, the elephant was charging itself, so it would be quite a setback for that elephant. But it is getting cut down extremely quickly. Rebellion is being used. God of War, no. You don't have the Vengeance going. That's just Rebellion, really. Plus 41% melee weapon damage. And well, a lot of units. Glaives, again, they're a huge damage dealer. So that was enough to cut down that elephant very quickly. So nicely done there by the Chinese team, coordinating their buffs, rather having just a lot of buffs, anti-elephant buffs available, as Vengeance was most likely on cooldown. And now D is captured, and even though that huge amount of forces that White Wolves have in the area, they didn't make it in time, despite the elephant, 2 elephants, buying a lot of time. So well played by both teams, I'll give them that. Slightly better played by the Chinese team, and now they are in an advantage. And yeah, as it is right now, if they hold on to what it is at the moment, they are going to win, and we'll see if they can actually hold on to that. Now they're going to contest B with an elephant. That's hugely improved elephant play compared to the previous battle, where those elephants, they had 6 of them, and yet they were wandering aimlessly all the time. Now they're using them, previously they used them on B to delay the enemy, now they're using them on B to start contesting it. But that's a lot of damage being dealt by Hannibal Spears. Now Stomp and Walk Through have dealt a lot of damage in return, but 2 elephants are down, 1 barely escaping, but under fire of archers exposing its rear. Charge being used, trying to dodge the arrows, but it was a little too late, and the archers still find half of that volley in, and that was enough to kill the elephant down. So the elephant will respawn C in 30 seconds, they're just going back there and healing up. Pretty much the same time, really. It will take them 20 seconds to walk up, 10 seconds to heal, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's going to be essentially the same. A little bit more XP, I guess, given away, and maybe some XP lost. But in case of elephants, that doesn't really matter at all, what armor and other stats they have. I mean, okay, it matters a little bit, but the raw stats are not why you're getting an elephant. You're getting an elephant because it can walk through everything. It can deny healing zones, it can contest capture points, etc, etc. So you're taking the elephant for utility, not for the raw fighting power. Although that fighting power is still pretty high, and it can deal with a lot of melee units in the game, unless he faces a direct counter or a combination of powerful buffs. So well, now it is on the White Wolves team to find a way back. As long as they can contest the points quite consistently, then they will still be able to drive their advantage home. So as you can see right now, even though 3 points are being captured by the Chinese team, 1 is being contested, which means only 2.2 points per second, and that 0.2 advantage is not enough to nullify the 700 points advantage that White Wolves have accumulated over the first 2 phases of the battle. But same can be done by the Chinese team. They still have elephants of their own. They have just taken down an elephant that was spotting them on top of that healing, although Hans might have gone out. Let's see if any of these units are hunted. No, actually none of them are hunted. Is that Canada? Okay, that's Ambiorix. That explains why no Hans are being caught. You should have taken Canada, if you ask me. But well, they have opted for Ambiorix, I guess, for a little bit more damage. So yeah, that works as well. Well, it's raw damage versus utility, right? So they have opted for raw damage. And now B is being contested. Actually, B is being captured as, yeah, the White Wolves have been completely caught off guard. They haven't really considered the possibility of the Chinese team launching an attack from the base, and point is almost flipped. What? No, what are you doing? No, wrong way. Is it going to be contested? It is. Very last second. Oh, that's a huge mistake. See, I was talking about, it was the previous battle, I think it was the previous battle. Like, you know, the team skill, like coordination between teammates, etc. And then individual skill. That was just an individual mistake. That's nothing like Captain can do about it other than shout, don't make that mistake. Right, but the player should have known it himself. Luckily for him, they have managed to gun out of the capture point, and the point was flipped anyway. So no healing zone in here. That means less points per second, 0 points per second. Kind of a currency, I don't know. Whatever, less is acceptable as well, because dictionary. So yeah, White Wolves are going to take B back. Elephants are a little bit late to the party, and now the point is locked, so even though they will walk on top of it, they will not contest it. So now they're going straight to the healing zone to deny any possible healing, as there are some units from the White Wolves team that would definitely like to heal up there. But one elephant is enough, 2 elephants maybe, if you really need that, and put 1 elephant on top of the archers, make them run away, make them useless, as your infantry is approaching, especially since you have a lot of barbarian infantry in the regular swordsmen and folksmen. So you need those archers distracted as well, to prevent them from shooting your barbarian infantry. And yeah, that's a lot of damage into barbarians, especially the ones that are exposing the rear and don't have XP advantage, have XP disadvantage in fact. So yeah, again, a misplay. 3 elephants on top of a healing zone that nobody's trying to heal on, and there are just dogs in there. Just put 1 elephant in there, put the other 2 on some other task, and then if you need more elephants on top of the healing zone to deny it, then move there. And instead you're using 3 elephants to kill a few dogs. That's animal abuse. That's reportable. So yeah, I was praising the Chinese team a little bit, and now I do have a little bit of a flame towards them, I guess. That's definitely something they need to improve on, managing their elephants. It's still a massive improvement compared to the previous battle, I'll give them that. So let's maybe not expect a huge improvement from a very bad play to essentially perfect play. Then again, what do I know about elephants, or what do I know about anything in this game, right? So this is being contested by pikes, that's really good, but they're in the open, they don't really have much of a backup, so they can easily be routed, especially by barbarian units. Folksmen are coming in. Cavalry as well, but that's not Scipio cavalry, so no war cry. And well, those are Leonidas, so you have hold the line. So it's still going to be extremely difficult. If you had Scipio war cry to counter hold the line, then maybe you could route those spikes. And now also elephant comes in. So yeah, this contest for C is going to go for quite a while, and as pretty much all the points are being contested, other than the ones that are locked in E and A. The point gain is only 1.0 to 1.1. B is now going to be flipped. Chinese team is going to get back it under their control. They have just prevailed. They have a healing zone over here, and as the point was flipped, well, it wasn't because it was, but well, the healing zone was successfully denied by 3 elephants, even though nobody really tried to heal in there. But well, maybe the elephants were the reason. So objective has been achieved. B has been captured, so I'll give them that. So I guess my flame was essentially entirely misplaced, so I'm very sorry for that. As B has been secured, and now 4 points under the control of the Chinese team, and only one of them is being contested, and looks like that contest is going to come to an end very soon, as the pikes have been surrounded and routed. Elephant has been killed, and yeah, as the pikes are being pushed out of the point before they die. That's 6 points per second for the Chinese team, and they're definitely going to win if it continues like that. But will it continue like that? That's the question. They have a unit of pikes going to pike phalanx. No, it's fighting the shed actually. And the dogs are just okay. They haven't left. That was close, but I've seen that happening before from a different Chinese team. If you remember the second quarterfinal, first kind of second, depends how you count them. But okay, this unit, did it make side point? I don't know, but it's fighting pike phalanx, so it's not going to go well. It's another unit of swords coming in from the front into pike phalanx. Okay, they're turning around. The dogs are being sent. That's very good. That pike phalanx is going to go down thanks to that. And shield bashes are not really going to help, but White Wolves are sending their own reinforcements, but they don't have any healing zones nearby. They're getting 0 points per second, as now the elephants are being put on top of the only remaining point that they have. Again, 3 elephants on top of 1 point, getting wrecked by that beautiful, beautiful counter of Hannibal Spears. A triple stomp and triple walkthrough is going to free them and also deal quite a lot of damage in return. But that is definitely not a favorable trade in the end. And I would really just like to see those elephants being split up. Look, they're just all being clicked at the same point. You have 3 elephants, not 1. Just split them up. Use 1 to contest the point, the other to deny the healing, or 1 to deny the healing, 1 to contest the point, 1 to chase archers. You can do it. Yeah, it's definitely pretty bad to have 3 elephants and having them used as 1. Especially since it's elephants, they cannot go on top of one another as the other units can. So they're just going to keep bumping into each other and disrupting each other as well. Like triple stomp, this pack stops. Okay, they're not going to disrupt each other because they're being cast at the very same second. So there's also that, but it could have possibly disrupted each other. But yeah, this is not a good elephant play. But now, just now, the Chinese team has gotten ahead in points. But again, D has been actually secured, well, not secured, but flipped by the White Wolves team. They've managed to push out the Chinese contestants out. They're desperately trying to pull through. They're doing it, but if you pull through, especially such a massive mass of infantry, there we go, you're going to suffer quite a lot of damage. But there are some reinforcements coming from the other side, attacking from all 3 sides. That's really, really good. Now the cavalry makes it through. I can apply a reflank. Only 1 reflank, because even though all these 3 units have been reflanked, only 1 can actually get the reflank applied, which I guess I'm a little bit salty about with how the morale system works, but well, that's how it works, and we just have to deal with it. Another unit is going to be routed here by the Foxman, really nicely done, although it's going to drop flanks because morale system. The elephant is going to make its way up here, but any hopes of White Wolves capturing D have essentially gone by with the reinforcements coming in time. We're going to put an elephant on top of C, as the Chinese team is running away from C, but the elephant cannot capture it before these units arrive, so C is going to be contested for a while, but that's about it. Now B is being launched a huge attack against, but 3 elephants again are here. They're going to buy a lot of time, but they're again going against Hannibal Spears. And I don't know how many times you need to die to those Hannibal Spears to realize that maybe you should try to avoid them. We will see if they will learn that lesson. Just look at the elephants just bumping into each other and disrupting each other's movement. That is not very, very effective. And also the stomps that you're going to use, if you stomp in the same place, that's essentially damage divided by 3. So you're definitely missing a lot of damage. And yeah, blobbing up works for Hannibal because phalanx mechanics again. The phalanx are extremely effective when they're being laid on top of one another, and the same is exact opposite for the elephants and most of the other units, but phalanx is that one exception. But the Chinese team is less than 100 points away from victory. So we'll see how that goes, if the White Wolves can possibly find a victory. They're definitely stopping. D is locked. They can only try to capture C, but that's not going to happen. They have only one elephant in there. Everything, literally everything is being thrown on top of B, as the Chinese team is 200 points away from victory. And yeah, I just really see how the White Wolves could possibly win this. So this is going to be a victory for the Chinese team. Well played. That automatically nullifies any kind of criticism I had towards them, because they have won this battle. So all the criticism for this battle is nullified because of that, as reasoned by the internet.
An enemy capture point is under attack.
Oh, they managed to push them out of B for a second, but elephants are going to make it through, utilize the elephants correctly. There we go. And now that is going to be the victory for the Chinese team, equaling the score in the quarterfinal to 1-1. But I'm quite surprised. I'll tell you why I stopped talking at the end. That is because I don't have the third replay. So I thought it was a 2-0. It isn't a 2-0, it was a 2-1. And I don't have the third replay. So, I don't know what happened there. Maybe the third battle wasn't played, or maybe they just didn't deliver the replay, or maybe the replay was bagged for some reason. I have no idea what happened there, but there is no third replay. So, I'm going to give you the answer here, possible spoiler, but White Wolves have advanced to the semi-final. So, whatever has happened, whether it was just a replay that wasn't delivered or anything else, well, the score is 2-1 in the end, and White Wolves advanced to the semi-finals to face off against Geese. So, well, until I show you that battle, or the next battle is going to be, you know, okay, the other semi-final between SUNTZU and War Games Institute has already been covered. So yeah, I'll see you in that semi-final, White Wolves versus Geese. But until then, I'll see you on Arena's Battle Its Commanders, amongst all that confusion that is making me mess up the entire last part of this video. Yep. See you there.